As promised, from the Wyland Gallery, not really from the Wyland Gallery, Oryan's from Las Vegas, by way of Southern California.
Yes, sir.
You started out as an architect.
Yep.
Said,
Cubicles, not for me.
Yeah, you like doing art better.
Have to. You know?
So how does that work out? I mean, it's like, I would think an architect would be good living.
Good living, but you're not doing your own thing. You're doing something that somebody else tells you to do. It's a very controlled environment. That's just not for me.
Yeah.
I had to get out, do my own thing, studied my own style, developed my own style over time, and 2006 released it to the public, and thank everybody. It's worked out fantastic.
And you said it's been good for you. I mean, I would think that's a hard thing. I mean, anybody can take a paintbrush and do something.
It is. It's perseverance more than anything else. I mean, it's actually going out and fighting for it, going after it. It's not one of those things you can kind of sit back and just wait for it to come to you. You actually have to go out and attack it and go get it.
That's a good explanation, I would think of it. I mean, you got obviously nice art, but the key is you got to let people know that you got it,
exactly,
right?
Exactly. And making good, good relationships with Wyland galleries, especially here. We work very well together. And it's been very successful. Yeah.
Did you have to deal at all with Wyland himself?
No, but I do
know
him.
Awesome.
He's great.
Yeah, he's come on the show a few times, guys. I was really cool to meet him and see how laid back he was.
I worked for him back in the early 90s.
Doing what?
Doing just helping out, tinkering around, getting him, I traveled with them to do the wailing walls, that kind of thing. So I knew the art background, so I had a lot of help in that, so I knew the way that the whole business worked.
Interesting.
So then, seeing him, I sort of tried to model what I was doing after after he forged that path.
When did you realize you were an artist? I mean, did you realize this as a kid?
When you were little?
When you were little kid?
Literally painted everything.
Yeah.
If it was not bolted down, it was getting painted.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So you knew it when you were really young.
Absolutely.
Because if I got a 2-year-old, we get the paintbrushes out and we do stuff, and you're like.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
It seems to me you either got it or you don't, right? Or it's within you or it's not.
It is, and then as an artist, it's up to us to push the boundaries of what's available to us. What I'm doing here, these pieces are 100% my own style, my own technique. What I'm doing is actually producing my own paint. So everything you see on here is not a store-bought color or texture or material.
Now, how's that? I mean,
well, I go to different manufacturers, go right to the source, and buy the materials individually. So I'll buy the clear mediums, I'll buy the color pigments, and I make my own colors for each specific piece. And I only work in originals, so as soon as this one is gone, there'll be never another one like that.
You don't make two?
No.
Now, how do they... I don't know a lot about art, but I see that sometimes. Like, you'll see a painting, for example, like this, but not this, that'll say, 1 of 220. What they did there? How can they paint so many of them?
What that is, that's called a limited edition. So they have different levels of editions that they can release. So they're basically making a high quality canvas print of that original. So then they can, it's a highly collectible object.
But it's got to be better to have just one. Be like, nobody else got this one.
Exactly. I prefer to do originals only. That's why I'm only in a few select galleries, because I can only make so many pieces. A piece like this actually took me about 3 weeks.
I was going to ask you how long. No kidding.
It took me quite a while just because of my process.
So can I ask how much that one sells for?
This one's about $2,500 or so. So for a 2-foot by 3-foot original, it's not a bad price. Actually, sometimes it's even less than a print.
Now you say that one took you 3 weeks, but in the meantime, were you working on other pieces too?
Yeah, absolutely. My studio is long and narrow. So what I do is I have pieces that I start and I work on 10, 15, up to 30 at a time.
Wait, what do you? I got the red paint out. I'll do a little bit of red on this one, a little red on that one.
You would think that would be the good way to go, but I don't do it like that. Yeah. So I make...
It's not a factory.
No. So what I do is, because I mix my own paint, so I make a couple of ounces per piece. So it goes along with that one. So sort of in my little system, this piece, as I'm working on it, will carry its own color palette along with it.
And you said that you live in Vegas, but you said you had to make sure you had a studio away from the house. Because I think if I was a painter, I'd be like, I want to have the backyard.
Absolutely not. There's too much distractions.
Totally.
I watch television all day long. But to actually treat it like a job, to leave somewhere, go to work, put your time in, it feels more like you're like an actual job. So it's too easy to lose yourself when you don't work with other people. You don't have a schedule. So I mean, I work my 7 to 7 is usually my day.
Really?
Yeah. So I put a lot of hours in, but it's great because
you ever drink have a couple cocktails? When you're
I do have a giant bar in my studio, but that's beside the point. You know?
Oh, like me, I guys like, oh, that song looks great, and the next day you're like, damn, what happened to that
Absolutely.
one? So you're at Wyland Gallery today from 2 till 6.
2 to 6, and then tomorrow.
And then again tomorrow at 2 to 6.
Yeah, 2 to 6.
People come in, a little wine and cheese,
Absolutely.
watch what you're doing,
Hanging
talk
out.
to
Yep.
you.
I have a couple of pieces I'm working on, so you can actually see a piece like this that's about halfway through. So you can see the texture, what actually goes into a piece like this. So, you can see it from, in its individual stages, which is really kind of interesting. Come down, help paint, have some drinks, have some cheese.
Yeah.
You know?
You said it was really nice. I had a big turnout yesterday. And
oh, yesterday
interest.
was phenomenal.
It's awesome.
I mean, I barely even sat down yesterday. It was fantastic.
That's great.
You know.
Keep up the good work. Nice to meet you, Ryan.
You too. Thank you for your time.
Keep up the good work.
Appreciate
and
it.
we're going to take a quick break and come back with more of the Lake Tahoe television experience.